Okay, it cut off, so I'm going to go ahead and continue here in part 2. So that's what you're going to do too. You're going to feel it, and you're going to steer by that. You're going to steer by your intuition and the vision that you have of yourself. You know where you need to get to. You know where you want to go. And we're not going to worry about all those other things. Let me tell you an interesting story. It's one of the things that I did. And here's if you're on this path, even things that seem to have nothing to do with what it is you're doing will have something to do with what it is you're doing. One of the great understandings that I came to in my life was learning about aerospace engineering. Okay, crazy as that sounds. One of the major transitions that happened that really jumped the aerospace technologies forward and all the X-planes, guys, is the quote-unquote invention. It was the time for what's called fly-by-wire. Okay, was a time ever since the guys at Kitty Hawk, guys, Wilbur and Orville Wright, everybody knows the story. Flying is impossible, but it wasn't. They believed in something that you couldn't see. Okay, and they made it happen, didn't they? Everybody told them they were crazy. Stick to your bicycles, man. Okay, all right. Ever since then, there has been mechanical connections between whatever it is you're doing with the rudder and the pedals and stuff on the plane to the ailerons and the director of the plane. Okay, right? Actual mechanical connections. There's wires, there's gears, there's pulleys, there's... Okay, see what I mean? Now, at some point, now this would be pretty early on when they had to understand that there wasn't room and they didn't want the weight of all of this stuff. But it took many, many years, okay, guys? But Jack Northrop started seeing these kinds of things as early as the 1940s when he started innovating something that was so radically different. The ideas came to him, this flying wing. He said, why do we need a cockpit and a fuselage and a tail and all this stuff? He said, let's make it all wing. And that's exactly what he did. And they said, well, that's crazy. You can't have, that's not going to work. Go read the story about Jack Northrop, guys. Go read something interesting. Learn about Burt Rutan. Learn about Skunk Works. Learn about these guys that have innovated. They're on their way to space now, man. And they make parts out of stuff out of a junkyard. He went to get a window switch out of a van, very similar to mine, to build a thing to go into space with, guys. Okay? So what I'm telling you is you can see beyond what it is that's in your everyday awareness and have faith in that thing that you believe in, even when nobody is answering you. Because you're there to pave the way, and these guys are the guys that did it. So next thing you know, okay, like I said, they're trying to cut the weight. The technology has now fallen into place, and we have what's called fly-by-wire. Okay, there is no mechanical connection anymore. Okay, you got to run. It's kind of the same thing. A lot of stuff this is in your vehicles right now, every day. The same technology. It's not magic. Okay, but it is a little bit slippery to understand how that it works. And what I'm telling you is your life in the same way is transitioning to a place where it worked the same way. You may not have the physical, tangible, visceral connection to the things that are going on. There's not the step-by-step anymore. There's not a linkage, okay? This is where faith comes in. Fly-by-wire is you got a servo motor in your aileron, okay? And you got a command in your cockpit. And the two have no mechanical linkage. There's no tangible, direct thing, okay? But there is a signal to the thing that will send a command through outer space, through the ether, and command this little servo motor that's in there to flip the aileron up or down, to do the thing, to put the landing gear down, and the thing's gonna work, okay? And let me tell you guys, redundancy after redundancy is built into these things because it's dicey, and they know it. So much so that with the B-2 bomber, one of the things, they had to have such computing power, and they kind of shot themselves in the foot on this, okay? Here's the thing that happened. There's so much computing power on this plane just to keep it in the air, because there's so much fly-by-wire in it, it built up so much heat. They had to put in cooling systems to cool the thing down. Well, that adds back your weight. So they're still working on it, guys. I'm telling you, and trust me when I say they are. But if you've ever seen a B-2 bomber, boy, it's there, and it's a magnificent piece of technology. It's so beautiful. But it started out as a thing as far back as Kitty Hawk, guys. The potential for that lay there that whole time until the 1980s. 80 years. Okay? And it started before that. Men have desired to fly before there ever was the possibility. And what I'm telling you is, it all went through the never first. Okay? There were many years where they said, there's no way. Back since Leonardo da Vinci, and they tried, right? They tried. They built flying machines and stuff. And they tried jumping off cliffs with, now we have, the flying suits. You've seen these things? Oh my God, to jump out of a plane and then they glide down with these flight suits. Or we have hang gliders and things like that. That's the best that they could manage. Not true flight, but now we do have. Okay, guys? Those things seemed impossible just not too long ago. Less than 100 years ago. And for the whole entire history of man, seemed like an impossibility. That potential had to come through that never. Since the dawn of the history of the beginning of men of time, the B-2 bomber is a thing. That was in potential. That nobody saw until Jack Northrop saw it. Okay? Now, I also have, did I tell you that? I've designed a plane too. I have, yeah. Because, and I kind of cheated because I actually saw it in a vision that I had. And that's a whole other story.
Dogs, but it might be useful to get
what I'm telling you is, the whole entire systems that are in our lives and in our brains and understanding and how we get by in our lives and commune with the universe and all that is and the scheme of things and the focus and reality of your life is, there's going to be times going through the never. There's going to be times where we're doing fly-by-wire, and it is a test of your faith. You're going to see those things fall away. Find a way to make them not reject you. Find a way to make them not detour you. Okay? Whoever it is that is making you feel like, or whoever it is, and somebody out there right now somebody is dealing with the fact that somebody has told you, whether it's society or an independent person, that you're really never going to add up to much. They have made it very clear to you that you're not going to really add up to much. Even if it was you. Because I'm the one that told me that. I don't know who told you that. What I'm telling you is, they're a liar. Even if it's you. Okay? They're trying to get you to take yourself out. And trust me when I say, man, it's just not true. You are going to add up to something. You already added up to something, or I wouldn't be here talking to you, right? You will have made a difference somehow. Okay? One way or another, you've made a difference. And I noticed. Because that's one of the things that I do, is I go around noticing. You think nobody's watching? You think nobody is paying attention? I do. I'm that guy. I'm noticing it. And I'm going to tell you about it, okay? Now what I'm going to ask you to do, in this meantime is, now that you know that you are making a difference, can you choose what kind of difference that you're going to make? What guy you're going to be? This is one of the things that I've told several of my friends. It's up to you to decide what kind of man you're going to be in this time that we're clicking things down. Just like it is we're driving, and we know we've got that extra 6-7 hours to go, man. And we're, when you're coming through Little Rock, Arkansas, and all you got to look forward to is the next 4.5 hours to Dallas, and Dallas is, okay, it's just part of the thing that you're going to have to go through, man, and you know it. You know there's going to be some grind ahead of you. I'm with you, man. I noticed that you're working hard on it. And I'm with you. Now, let's decide together what kind of guy you're going to be. See what I mean when I say we take these few minutes and we just chew on that? It's just like getting a Slim Jim, man. You get back on the road after the gas station, you get you a Slim Jim, you chew on that for a while. Just to give you something to do, man, while you click them down. And I'm going to click them down with you, man. Let's do what we call, and we're going to develop what we call a tactical mythology. You've seen the vision, and you know what it is. You didn't expect all these crazy things to happen. You didn't expect it to take that extra 8 hours. You didn't expect to lose this or that guy, right? Okay, but what if you do? Can you take command of that situation the way that it is? Can you take up and assert that yourself and your vision have been flawless and faultless, and stand in that place and take command of that? Okay, and you're going to feel that shift, man. You're going to feel that. It's just like going into overdrive, man. It's just a more efficient way. That's it. Okay, you're cutting a lot of stuff loose, including all of the heavy baggage of all the physical connections, man. Fly by wire, understand? Okay, and that's going to go easy. A lot of people think overdrive means more power. It actually means less power. And you'll feel it slide into gear, man, and we'll just cruise, okay? We're clicking them down. That seems hard. And it seems like we're going step by step and we're slogging. We're not. Overdrive that bitch, man. Easy. We're just cruising now on the highway. Okay, and I'm going to be there with you, man. And we're going to go all the way, and we're going to get to where we're going, whether we get a sign or not, because we're going to keep going, and we're going to get there. All right? I love you guys, and I hope that this helps somebody else out. Just stick with the process, man, and we're going to get there. Sending much love and light to you guys. Buenos nachos, amigos.